All right, back in the kitchen, Kitus Cooks, episode 30, 40, 20, 15, 15, 20, 14, quinceañera. Okay, so today we're going to do a fresh tomato basil sauce. So simple, so easy, so delicious. Probably one of my favorite pastas, especially in the summertime. We're going to do it two ways. We're going to do a cooked one, and then we're going to do what we call al fresca, or we'll just say al fresca, all nice and chilly and so delicious. So in the summertime, I love it al fresca. It's where we don't really cook anything. We just get it all put together and toss it with some pasta. And the other one, obviously, we're going to cook it. So let's start real quick. So what I'm going to do, the important part about this is the tomatoes. So we're going to use Roma tomatoes. And this is really great in the summer when you're growing tomatoes in your yard. And they're delicious, fresh off the vine. So I'm going to show you, I like to peel them. I like to get that skin off the tomatoes. Get that horrible, nasty skin off your tomatoes. So what we do, I'm going to tell you what we have. I already did some ahead of time, so you don't have to be bored to death with me peeling tomatoes. So we have tomatoes, these Romas. So what we're going to do, we're going to take out the end. And I have this tool. This is probably one of my very favorite tools of all time. It's called a tomato shark. And they actually used to have a little picture of a shark on these. They don't do it anymore. I guess the artist was demanding too much money for his shark art. Shark, what'd I call it? I forget already. Okay, so what we're doing, we're going to take out the ends. That's the cool thing. So it takes out the little, the stem end. You can use this on strawberries. You can use it on anything. Even if you want to do like tiny little melon balls, something like that. It's great for that. So we take out the ends. That goes directly into our pile of compost. And then what I'm going to do on the other end, we take our knife and we're going to do an X. Just like the band, Exene and John Doe, Los Angeles. Okay, look at that. So that's so simple. And what I have behind me is some boiling water. So into that water, voila, my tomatoes. So that's going to sit in there for a good 10, 15, 20 seconds, long enough for those tomatoes to, what it does, it blisters the skin. I blister in the sun. Let me go on. The Violent Femmes. Oh my God, it's a musical day for me today. So what we're going to do, they're going to blister, and then what we do, we'll pull them out. My students are really messing with me today. They're trying to do schoolwork. Okay, so what we're going to do, those are going to come out, and what I have here is water with ice in it. So that means it's cold water, icy cold water. And what we call this is a very simple term. It's called shocking. It's like when you go home and tell your parents you're dropping out of college to join the circus. That's shocking your parents, but it's not with the ice water. This is what we do with these tomatoes. This one's not quite ready. So we put them in the water, and what that does, that stops them from cooking, right? That stops the process. It's slow. You do it with pastas. You can do it with vegetables. This one we're doing with the tomatoes, and it stops them from cooking. That way the tomatoes won't get all soft and kind of the word that I'm looking for. And then they're really easy to peel that way. So let me see. We're almost ready. Oh, there's one. That guy's ready. This guy stepped up to the plate. See how that kind of blistered the skin? Look at that. So I'm going to toss it in there. It also makes it really easy for you to work with it right away. So see how that skin peels off right away? So easily, so effortlessly, very nicely, okay? So that's a very simple way to peel tomatoes. If you want to peel tomatoes another way, get a vegetable peeler. I don't know. I don't really know. You could actually roast tomatoes in the oven, and when they come out, the skin will come off easier. But this is a really quick way to do it. So let's go with this method today. And you will get an occasional tomato that doesn't want to give up its skin. It wants to save its skin. So you have to work with those ones. You have to talk them through it. You have to say, give me your tomato skin, or I'll put you in salsa. All right, there we go. almost done. This one is really putting up a fight. He really wanted to save his skin. All right, good. So now we have our tomatoes peeled so we don't get that skin inside of our, when we're eating our tomato sauces. Okay, like I said, we're going to make 2 sauces. So let's do the first one will be our al fresco. So this is going to be so simple. So what I'm going to take is these tomatoes. I'll cut them in half just like that. I'm going to do, let's do 3 of these. All right, perfect. I got 3 of my tomatoes ready to chop, and I'm just going to go straight down like that, and I'm going to turn them and dice them this way, and so we get a nice fine dice just like that. Really? Want me to do it again? All right, once again I'll do that. I'm going to have to do it more than once again. Okay, if you want an even smaller dice, you can put them on their side and go through this way, turn it, same process like this. Okay, whoa, that was a close one. That was a close shave there, chef. Okay, we do a couple at a time, that way we can go faster with our chopping technique. Look at there, looky there. All right, last 2 here, and we'll be ready to go. Perfect. Come on, chef, work faster. All right, there we go. Look who's there. Oh, Jelson sneaking up on me. He is the sneakiest school director I've ever met in my life. What's up, my friend?
Right here.
Look who's here.
Guys?
I hate people that are taller than me.
What would you like me to do?
And he was sucking in his gut there, too. All right, so here we have our fresh tomatoes. And we're going to put some, we remember in our last class, we made some of this, what we called preserved garlic. So we have this garlic that's nice, and we cooked it, and it's really nice and caramelized and ready to go. It's cooked in, and there's some oil there. So what we do, we're just going to go through and cut that up. And this is going to go directly into our tomato, and it's going to be, that's going to be our garlic flavor. All right, obviously, because it's garlic. And then I'm going to do a little onion in here too. You don't have to do the onion. I really like onion in this, and I'm going to do it really, really thin slices on this. So watch how we do this. That long way like this. Just with your knife, be really careful. Going down, slicing really, really thin. See those precision cuts? Nice work, chef. All right. And then I want to just kind of get it a little smaller. Those are pretty big pieces to be putting in a pasta, especially a pasta that is al fresco. So here we go. I'm going to use this much. All right. So that's about a tablespoon of our onion there. I'm going to put this over here. Get it out of my way. All right, so we basically got almost everything we need ready to go, except basil. Remember, we're doing a tomato basil pasta, so what would a tomato basil pasta be without basil? It'd be a tomato pasta, right? Okay, so look, this is really important. So we want to cut this basil up. We want to make it look nice. So what I'm doing, and I'm going to pull off all these little pieces, and see that the basil has a little bit of like darkness to it. And what happens in the sometimes the refrigerator is too cold for your basil, and so it kind of darkens it. And so you just gotta try. What I do is I wrap my basil in a towel, and that helps to protect it from the cold. The colder it gets, the more likely it's going to go into that black look. Okay, so look what I did. I put all those, stacked them all up, and then I found one really big leaf that I put everything on top of. And what we're going to do now is something really fancy name. It's a French word, chiffonade. There you go. Remember that one, chiffonade. Hey Mom, I can't go to school. I got to stay home and chiffonade. And she'll believe you. Look how thin it is. That's a really good look. Oh, Dad, I crashed a car, but my chiffonade's okay. You can use that word in your parents, no problem. They'll feel like, God, my kid's so smart. He knows big words. All right, so we got our basil, we got our onion, we got our garlic, tomato. We're going to take some of that oil that we did our garlic in yesterday, that we preserved our garlic in, and look at that. We toss that. We're going to salt and pepper. Let me see. Let me grab that salt and pepper. All right, salt, senior salt, monsieur pepper. There you go. Now, if you wanted to, if you had some, let's say, balsamic vinegar, you could put a little bit of that in there. We're not going to do that because I didn't feel like walking back to the room to get it. We're going to toss a little bit of Parmesan in there, and away we go. I've got some pasta that I cooked ahead of time. Nice cold pasta. Look at that. And that's how simple this is. We toss it in there, just like that. You can't go wrong with this pasta. Well, you could. And you can have all kinds of meltdowns where things don't go right, but hopefully you won't have a meltdown with this. Okay, so look at that. We just move it around. Maybe you want some spice, so we take a little red chili flakes. Let's get some of those in there too. Because I know that if I put red chili flakes, people are less likely to eat it here in this class. And that means I get more of it. All right, here's our nice looking pasta al fresca. Okay, and if you wanted, you could do, I used all that basil, but you could do a little bit more. Roll up that, you're basically rolling a basil cigar, and then you do a little bit this way again. See that chiffonade? Mom, I can't find my chiffonade. There, you got that. That word is so useful. Okay, there we go. We wipe off the edges of our plate or our bowl. We sprinkle a little more Parmesan on there, and that's ready to go. Simple as that. That hardly took me any time, did it? We'll put that there. And now we'll do our cooked pasta. So look, we have our pan. It's on the stove. We're going to pour a little bit of that garlic oil in there. We'll grab a couple more pieces of garlic out of it. You know what we'll do? I've got some fresh garlic, so we'll just slice up some fresh garlic in there. And this is garlic we peeled earlier. And you know the technique. And then I had my knife here. Oh, right there. Adolfo was hiding it. Now we're going to do a nice thin slice like this with our garlic. If you've ever seen Goodfellas, they do it with a razor blade when they're in the joint, when they're cooking. It's you think I'm funny? What do you mean I'm funny? Okay, so I'm going to get my garlic cooking there. It's really thin, so it's going to cook really quick. So you want to be careful not to burn it, because what's the flavor of burnt garlic? Bitter, burnt garlic. Kind of like my first wife. Bitter. I'm kidding. I met my third wife. My first wife would kill me if she heard that, because I'm still married to her. Okay, here we go. I got some tomatoes cutting up. Let's see, our garlic's nice cooked. It's cooked through already because it's so thin. Into the oil you go. All right, and guess what? We're really close already with this. That's how quickly these things cook. There's really no need to worry that you're not going to get this done in time, because it's such an easy pasta to make. Okay, let's get some more of this basil. What are they doing over there? Torturing people? That sounds horrendous. That's what a kitchen sounds like. All right, here we go. Got some basil, and this one, we don't have to do the fancy chiffonade. We're going to do a little thicker cut through this, so it's more of a julienne cut. There we go, nice and easy. I put this in near the end because basil is nice and green. If it cooks too much, it will get a little darker. We want to have that nice, vibrant color. Let's go with our salt, our pepper, and I know I didn't put enough salt, so a little more salt in there. And I'm going to do some red chili flakes on this one too. There we go. Perfect. And then you got your saute technique. It's the push, the pull, the push, the pull. And that one little thing, I don't know what it is, but you got to learn it to be a chef, or you will never be a chef. I'm kidding. You'll always be a chef as long as you're in the kitchen cooking. Okay, so it's almost ready. So what I'll do, I've got some